Okay, let's look at the 1984 CR125R. It's also a product of the Works Racing program and ongoing product improvement. Like the larger CRs, the 125 has covered crankshaft wheels, the new standard size ignition rotor and pulsar, redesigned ProLink, and the dual piston front disc brake. It too has a tach. The linkage arrangement is different from the CR250R, but the system works the same way and has the same service requirements. For 1984, the front forks are 43 millimeters in diameter, just like the 250 and 500. The rear shock is also a new unit, with improved damping characteristics. It has a split piston ring for easy servicing. Service procedures are covered in detail in the 84 shop manual. The CR80R has also received its share of refinements to make it even more competitive for 1984. It has covered crankshaft wheels, the new standard ignition, redesigned ProLink, and a tach. Fork tube diameter has been increased from 31 to 33 millimeters. Service is essentially the same as it was for last year, although fork oil capacity is greater. Be sure to check the 84 shop manual for the correct amount. A removable rear subframe, like that on the larger CRs, makes many service jobs easier. It's really helpful during routine maintenance of the rear shock and swing arm. This shock is similar to the 1983 unit, but it has different spring and damping rates and reduced nitrogen pressure, 185 psi instead of last year's 284. Detailed service of this new shock appears in the 1984 shop manual. A caged, tapered roller bearing is used at the bottom of the steering head. The top bearing is an uncaged ball bearing. The roller bearing must be preloaded 1 to 1.8 Newton meters or 9 to 15 inch-pounds during assembly or adjustment of the steering. Honda hasn't forgotten the little CR60R for 1984. It too has received its share of attention with several important refinements. It's fitted with the new standard size ignition rotor and pulsar. Redesigned ProLink with longer travel and improved damping and spring rates provides better traction. Carburetor size has been increased from 22 to 24 millimeters. This, in combination with a redesigned expansion chamber and improved cylinder porting, is responsible for a 25% horsepower increase. The diameter of the front fork tubes has been increased from 28 to 30 millimeters. Front suspension service is much the same as last year, but the fork oil capacity has been increased. Be sure to check the 1984 shop manual for the correct amount and grade. Okay, that wraps up changes to the CR series for 1984. Let's look at what's new for the XRs. First, the XR 200 and 250Rs are totally new for 1984. Both models share the same basic engine. A difference in cylinder bore size accounts for the difference in displacement. The new design is an outgrowth of the RFVC engine used in the XR 350 and 500Rs with 4 valves and dual-port induction for improved performance throughout the operating range. Service and repair of the XR 200 and 250Rs are essentially the same as for the larger engines. Unique service details and specifications are shown in the 1984 shop manuals for these new models. The noticeable changes for existing Enduro models are some redesigned components for the XR 350R. The 350 has been refined with a new dual trochoid oil pump. While one half of the pump supplies oil to the engine, the other half scavenges oil from the magneto case to reduce oil drag on the rotor and improve throttle response. And here's something to keep in mind when servicing any XR, 83 or 84. Recommended oil for air temperatures above 30 degrees Celsius is now SAE 20W50. For temperatures from 0 to 30 degrees, either 10W40 or 20W50 can be used. And during operation below 0 degrees, only 10W40 should be used. As a final touch, the XR 350R is fitted with a dual piston hydraulic disc brake, like the one that was introduced on the XR 500R last year. This brake is also like the one used on the new XR 200 and 250Rs. Service is the same for all of the XR disc brakes. The versatile XL600R is the final off-roader to undergo refinement for 1984. To improve starting and low-speed drivability, the carburetor insulator, jet needle, and slow jet have been changed, along with a CDI with a redesigned advanced curve. And be sure to look for these changes in the 84 Tech Tips program. All of the new pieces are available as a kit that will improve drivability in last year's model. Well, that's what's new off-road for 1984. Let's take a few minutes to review and see what new information you've picked up. Open your student workbook. As we review, I'll ask you questions. Each time I do, turn off the machine and write your answer in the book. Then, turn the machine on for the next question. Okay, let's review. First question. What is the benefit of the new covered crankshaft wheels in the CR500R, CR250R, CR125R, and CR80R? Turn off the projector while you answer. Then, turn it on to continue. Press the stop button now. Covered crankshaft wheels reduce crankcase volume. This increases primary compression and is partly responsible for the horsepower increases for 1984. Which CR models are equipped with the new standard size ignition rotor and pulser? All 1984 CRs are equipped with the new standard size ignition rotor and pulser. And remember what this means to you. One rotor puller fits all models. What service does the new attack system require? The attack system should be cleaned, inspected for damaged gaskets, and the linkage should be lubricated with silicone spray at normal piston replacement intervals, 7.5 hours. One more question. How has nitrogen pressurization in ProLink shocks changed for 1984? Nitrogen pressurization during service for 1984 models has been changed to meet the requirements of the changes in ProLink geometry. The three larger CRs require 142 psi, and the CR80R requires 185 psi. Well, did you do okay? Good. There are some great refinements to look forward to in the new models. And there are some exciting new innovations that will keep Honda out front in 1984. There are some important service details to remember in the months ahead. And it's all part of keeping number one in 1984.